Okay, welcome everyone to the video plus IRC Cinder meeting. Usually keep this in video format on the last meeting of the month for some audio video interaction. Probably people get bored with the IRC chat, so we started this. Uh, so yeah, a few announcements. So the first one is, okay, let me also update IRC. So as you might have seen on the mailing list, John Bernard has stepped up to become the new Cinder PTL. So thanks and congratulations, John.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you've done. I will try not to screw it up.
Yeah, thanks. I will probably might do a better job than me at handling some things. But yeah, all the best. Okay. So the next one is OS Brick release. So we released OS Brick last week. It was the non-client library release. So we were able to deliver it on time. The version is 6.7.0 if anyone would like to, interested in that. Okay. Next up, we have the call for outreachy mentors and projects. So if you see the mailing list thread, then it says submit before 23rd Feb. But when I opened the website, it says we can submit the project before March 1st. So if anyone is interested in mentoring for outreachy or submitting a project from Cinder or OpenStack site, do visit this link and you can propose a topic, a project that the interns can work on. It's a great experience to get new contributor in OpenStack. I think it's a 3-month internship period for them, and the interactions are also very minimal. Like once a week, you have to sync up with them with progress. So yeah, I did that last year. It was a great experience. Okay, so finally we have.
Do we have any proposals sitting around that we could reuse?
Yes, we have the one that I submitted in the last cycle last fall. It was used accepted, but it's still good. That could be recycled for sure. I mean, in addition to any other new topics. So there's definitely a few things that could be picked up and carried forward.
Okay.
It was related to the gap we have in OpenStack client SDK, those areas. So
that one.
Okay,
was,
so
yeah.
we don't have a MyPy one sitting around for type checking.
Not yet.
Right. Okay. All right. I may talk to Eric and see if we can slap something together real quick. All right. Thanks.
yeah, MyPy would be a good one. I mean, from time to time, we have patches that land and which could have, issues could have been avoided because of MyPy, but
Yeah, there've been several in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, I think it would be good to continue that effort. So okay.
But if it becomes a community goal, like from the TC side for projects to implement it?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah.
I saw someone on the mailing list regarding pipe. I mean, it's not. It's about to
Oh
get.
yes, I did see that too. Yeah. Um, okay.
He did mention that it could be really beneficial for OpenStack.
Yeah, which is unquestionable, but it's I mean, our experience in getting people to do it, I think, is going to be kind of typical. So I shouldn't be so pessimistic though. But I think if we could get an intern to focus on this and bug people to do reviews, we could really get ourselves to enough coverage where we can start catching problems, which would be great. And I think it's probably a good learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, he will have to go through the code base to understand what method returns and what parameters it accepts. So they will
Yeah,
surely
like Eric's been saying, there's some interesting things so depending on the level of the student, I mean, there's some interesting things you could do to try to handle the our OVOs because they're difficult to MyPy because they're sort of dynamic. So there's yeah so it's something for everybody in that. All right, I'll talk to Eric and see if we can put something together that makes sense. Thanks for the reminder.
And also check the deadline again, because as I checked, it was March 1st, but I'm not sure if it's just for projects or even for mentors submitting their nominations. But I think we still have time. So yeah, moving on. Next up, we have some upcoming milestones and deadlines. So there are not a lot because we are towards the end of the cycle. Just mentioning it in RC. Yeah, so feature freeze is this week. And I have a topic later for the features, so I will discuss it then. And then we have cycle highlights the next week. Previously, cycle highlights used to happen with the M3 deadline, but some features request feature freeze exception, and we can't mention them in the highlights before they are merged. So that way we shifted it. I mean, the release team shifted it, but yeah, it was a good thing for PTLs. Then we have the RC1 deadline next week after that, and after RC1 we will cut the stable branches, so there will be only possibility of bug fix backports if there are any. But yeah, mostly after the feature freeze we only merge bug fixes. And then yeah, April 3rd is the final release, and then we have the PTG. Anything that I might have missed, anyone else would like to announce? Okay, we can move on to the topics then. Okay, so this is, so I went through all the review requests of the past couple of weeks, and I found out some of the patches were, I mean, from the same vendor, they were repeated, or from the same person, they were repeated. And I just saw this comment from Christian. I mean, I didn't have Christian in mind while writing this. I was just writing a general observation because I even saw some from Pure, some from HP, multiple requests of the same driver patches. So yeah, it was just a general observation that we defined some guidelines during the Caracal PTG, and those guidelines were not, I mean, they were not hard rules, but it would make the reviewer's task much easier, because if we see like 10 patches in the first section, then it kind of demotivates the reviewer to take a look at them. And even we decided that we will add patches based on milestone. So if there is the spec freeze, they can add specifications. If there is a driver merge deadline, they can add drivers, and same for features and bug fixes. So that was the purpose, to like make the review request list concise. Else it would benefit no one. Like even the author doesn't get any reviews, and the reviewer isn't very much interested in looking at like 15-20 patches every week in the review request section. So yeah, just was reiterating the same guidelines. And yeah, I can reply to Christian later. Maybe he's in the meeting or not. But yeah, I will just add a reply to the Etherpad that I didn't intend to target him for this. Okay. Okay, I was just replying to Christian on IRC. I think he's not around here. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic, which is kind of important since the deadline is tomorrow. So yeah, feature freeze and Cinder client release. So I checked the Cinder client, and I didn't find any patches that were, I mean, critical for the release. One was regarding a feature where we introduce a new volume action, extend in use volume for NFS drivers, like file system based drivers. That is merged as of now, so that will be included in the release. Other than that, I couldn't find it, but maybe I can create a section here. So you can add, yeah. So on the Etherpad, you can add your patches if you feel any Cinder client patch is release critical and we need to land it before tomorrow. Okay, so coming to the main features. So the first one, as I said, yeah, this one is merged in Cinder as well as Cinder client. So this is the first patch. It just introduces a new volume action. It doesn't actually do anything because we require the Nova side changes for it. But Nova needed to call something on the Cinder side. So we first need to implement this on the API layer with a new micro version. And once Nova starts calling this, we will have the second Cinder patch, which actually make changes to the volume manager side. So yeah, the flow is kind of back and forth between Cinder and Nova, but the first dependency was on the Cinder side, which we have merged. Now it's on the Nova side. So we are good on this. And yeah, this was the Cinder client patch I was mentioning, which is merged now. So we are good on that. Okay. So the next one is from NetApp. It's space allocation support. And in the last meeting, I said about thin provisioning, but it's actually regarding the trim discard functionality and also some NetApp specific things like to not make the volume offline when we can't write it. So yeah, it's according to the design, like add a new extra spec and report the same as the discard value from the driver side. So I didn't find any issues. Some nitpicks, but yeah, those are not very important. I was waiting for the fiber channel CI to pass, but it was failing. And I think there was a comment added that NetApp team has tested this locally, so it shouldn't be an issue. And I've upgraded my vote. So need a second reviewer to take a look and probably merge it. So yeah, this requires a second review.
I'll go ahead and commit to that unless somebody else is just aching to do it. I guess I shouldn't have even bothered to say that.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Rajat.
Okay, yeah, so that is handled. Next one we have is this Delhi MC. I think this one is close to ready. We are just waiting for the CI to pass. Brian and I took a look. I mean, there were multiple revisions, but finally looks ready.
It's also starting to look like one of those cursed patches because it's like different failures on every Zool run.
This time I think, oh yeah, Zool is failing. Yeah, I didn't notice. That's also an issue to while making it to deadline. Okay. Does the recheck with a capital R work?
I hope so. I guess we should just check the Zool page and see if it's make sure it's running. Yeah, that's a good question.
It does work. Okay, so it's insensitive. Okay, so that also looks handled. Then we have the HP support, high availability. So I went through the patch, but I don't have much knowledge about active from even a Cinder perspective. So, but I will probably take a look and review. So the patch looks big because there are test files that have, I mean, like 800, 900 line of code, but the main changes are, I mean, not more than 200 lines of code. So, and along the same lines, we have the Dell patch as well. It also adds the active support. So I think it would be good to get those in. At least we will have more drivers that have the active capability. I think for now there are a few, RBD being one of them. Maybe Pure and NetApp have it. But yeah, good to get those in.
Is there any question to us, Rajat?
No, I was just thinking that if NetApp supports active.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, last release we did. Yeah, in Bobcat.
Okay, great. Yeah.
For NFS we did.
Sorry, did you say for NFS?
Yeah, for NFS we did in Bobcat, and for ISCSI we have not done. Yeah, there is still deep for active for NetApp.
Okay. So iSCSI and even fiber channel are pending?
Yes, those two are pending. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will do that. Yeah, plan it next week.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking because there are proposals from other vendors regarding active support. So okay, I will at least commit to reviewing these two and ping someone if I need a second review. And the last one is regarding Ceph. Had only option to keep last 10 snapshots for backup. I think this was discussed quite a few times, but I'm not sure if there was any conclusion on this. I mean, if the idea makes sense, is the code good? It has a -1 from Pete, but I think Christian has replied to it.
This would be a good one for John, I think. I started to look at it, but I don't quite understand Ceph.
Yeah, I also haven't explored the backup side of Ceph. It's not very familiar. So anyone interested in?
I'll take a look.
Okay, yeah, great. Thanks, John. Okay, so there were some features like from Fujitsu and I think Hitachi, but they had like 5 or 10 patches dependency, and I just targeted the ones that that were straightforward to review and get merged. So I haven't actually included them here. If we take a look at this feature list, so in this one, I have skipped this Hitachi section and this Fujitsu section. And also this last one, which didn't have a patch, it only has a bug report. So these 3 parts I have skipped in the target because I wasn't sure if we will be able to make it. Maybe a better strategy to get patches like this reviewed would be better in the next cycle, but I don't think we will be able to make it. I mean, these features could make to this cycle. And one more thing, like if you feel like your feature might not get merged in this deadline for tomorrow, you can request a feature freeze exception. You can find various examples, like if you just search Cinder feature freeze exception, you will find some mails. So you just have to write a mail mentioning the cycle, the patches, and yeah, I think that's the cycle name and the features. So that is enough. If you can just mention that, and I can approve the feature freeze exception request on the mailing list, and your feature will be granted 1 extra week for it to merge. So if you feel you want to get this feature in this cycle, then please request it if it doesn't get merged on time. I think from this list, I think the last 3 ones might have an issue. Okay, Luigi says we need to take a look at his review request, maybe. But yeah, that's all I wanted to mention regarding the features. No, someone from HP wrote like the HP patch is still supporting the active standby. I thought it was supported already, but okay. Like, yeah, I need to take a look at the patch, what exactly it supports. Okay, that's all the topics I had for today. I can start open discussion on IRC. And yeah, if you didn't write a topic and you want to discuss something, now's your time. Okay, I see. So are you referring to the add parameter Fujitsu use CLI copy? So is this the one you're referring to? Okay, it's not the first one. Sorry. This is the first one. Improve volume deletion. Okay, yeah. Okay, I did review it before. I can take another look. I'll just mention this in the features. So Christian is asking if anyone is interested in the Ceph caps thing. I mean, I did try to provide.
I think Eric said he was going to take a look, but he's had some stuff going on, so he may not have had time to do that. But maybe Christian should just reach out directly to Eric.
Okay, I won't mention Eric directly.
Okay. Well, I think he said it at the last meeting that he was interested.
Okay, I can mention that. I hope Eric will not be mad at me for that. Okay, at this point, it's just me talking to Christian on IRC, so I will probably close this meeting. So I will just stop the recording.